Greetings. Welcome to my podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Dr. Andrea Walker, board certified family nurse practitioner. In today's episode, we will discuss having realistic expectations while taking the GLP-1 injections for weight loss, which could be Ozempic, Wegovy, semaglutide, Mounjaro, Zepbound, or tirzepatide, and what to do once you reach your weight loss goal, which actually ties in with having realistic expectations. I get this question all the time. How much weight can I expect to lose in the first week? Or do you think I can lose 20 pounds by such and such date? While math was one of my favorite subjects, I am not a big statistical person when it comes to weight loss, meaning I do not pull out my calculator and figure out how much weight a person can, quote, expect to lose while on any of the GLP-1 injections, because everyone will respond differently to the medications. And in a lot of instances, what you do as far as eating and working out will make a difference. But for the sake of this podcast, I will tell you what Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk have to say about this when it comes to potential weight loss. And I will share some stats from my clinic as well. So, Eli Lilly is the manufacturer of Zepbound and Mounjaro, which is generic for tirzepatide. A study was conducted in 2022 over a period of 72 weeks. People using the 10 milligram dose of tirzepatide, which is not quite the highest dose of the medication, but is a high enough dose. Anyway, they lost an average of 19.5% of their body weight, while those on the highest dose of 15 milligrams lost an average of 20.9% of their body weight. Now, keep in mind that 72 weeks is equivalent to around 18 months. The average weight loss for those on tirzepatide 10 milligrams was 48 pounds, and for those on 15 milligrams of tirzepatide, it was 52 pounds. So I know many expect to lose weight super quick, but for those who consider themselves, quote, slow losers, you are probably not doing as bad as you think. To be honest, losing 1 to 2 pounds a week is actually what is considered acceptable and safe weight loss. So stop rushing the process. While on your weight loss journey, this is the time that you should be learning to see what works and what does not work for you, incorporating healthy eating habits and striving to incorporate some workouts. Your body will thank you for it later. Now, as far as semaglutide, the generic name for Ozempic and Wegovy, a 68-week clinical trial was conducted with patients on the max dose of Wegovy, which is 2.4 milligrams. Patients lost 15% of their body weight, but a healthy diet and exercise was required. Another study showed that after being on the medication for about 1 year and 3 months, patients typically plateaued on semaglutide, meaning they did not lose or gain weight, but they were able to maintain the weight they had lost within that time frame. Just FYI, the longest research study that has been completed on one of the GLP-1s lasted 4 years. With that being said, there's not a specific time frame that a person can remain on the medication or a time frame that a person has to discontinue the medication. However, most people are going to stop because either they reach their weight loss goal, the cost of the medication becomes too expensive, they plateau on the medication, or they do not like the side effects. I want to make it clear, make sure to set realistic goals from the start, or even right now today if you are already on one of the GLP-1 medications. Please do not expect to lose 50 pounds in 3 months. Losing 10 pounds a month is more realistic, but still on the aggressive end. Remember, you did not put the weight on overnight, so do not expect it to come off overnight. So even if you are only losing 4 to 8 pounds a month, that still is not a bad thing. Now, moving on to setting those realistic goals. I know many want to reach their goal weight and then boom, no more shots. If I can be honest, that will not work for many if you want to be successful in keeping the weight off. I always recommend my patients not only to reach their weight loss goal, but to drop 5 additional pounds under their goal weight so that they will be able to have some wiggle room. And this is why I stress healthy eating and working out from day one of starting the injections. Because when you stop the injections, the medication can remain in your system for up to 1 month. After that, your body will no longer be getting the injectable GLP-1 hormone that it has been used to receiving weekly. But once patients reach their goal weight, I suggest that they not only make sure to work out and eat healthy even more, but to move over to maintenance dosing on the injection. A person sent me a message on TikTok and asked me what the maintenance dose was. This will be different for everyone, but I generally recommend remaining at the current dose and spacing the injections out. For instance, instead of receiving the injection weekly, now start receiving the injections every other week for a few weeks, and let's see how that goes. And then we can space it out to every 3 weeks and eventually once every 4 to 6 weeks. Sometimes we can go down on the dose slowly. It just depends. However, I do not recommend anyone goes longer than 4 to 6 weeks without receiving the injection. Now, for those who will eventually want to stop the shots altogether, just make sure you are doing what is required to keep the weight off. These medications are not indicated for short-term use. They are for chronic use, which means they potentially do not have a stop date. This does not mean you have to remain on them forever. However, understand that the weight that was lost, as well as maintaining the weight loss, is intended with chronic use of the injections, meaning the weight is highly likely to return eventually when the injections are stopped. When you stop the injections, several things can happen depending on the individual and the duration of use. Here are some potential occurrences. Return of appetite, of course. GLP-1 medications help regulate appetite and promote feelings of fullness. Once you stop taking them, your appetite might return to previous levels, which could lead to increased food intake. This is why I actually want you to eat while being on the shots. So imagine what will happen if you're one of those people who lose a lot of weight while being on the injections, but you barely eat. Guess what is going to happen when you stop taking the shots? Your appetite is going to return with a vengeance. So I do want you to eat while being on the shot. I just want you to eat small portions. And then, of course, weight gain. Many people experience weight loss while on the GLP-1 medications due to reduced appetite and better blood sugar control. After stopping the medication, there is a risk of regaining the lost weight, especially if lifestyle changes have not been maintained. Hence, I cannot stress the lifestyle changes of incorporating a healthy diet and exercise enough. So, do not wait until you stop the injections to start. Now is the time. And then blood sugar levels. GLP-1 medications help improve blood sugar control. Stopping the medication might cause blood sugar levels to rise again. So many people do not realize the importance blood sugar levels have on weight loss. And then there's insulin resistance, which many people have no idea that they actually have it. This is one of those terms that you hear a lot, but what exactly does it mean? Insulin resistance is when cells in your body are unable to use insulin effectively. Elevated levels of insulin can result in weight gain. So, now that you are no longer receiving the GLP-1 medication, your body is losing the benefits of blood sugar control, which was helping you to lose weight. And then potential risk of comorbidities. If the GLP-1 medications were helping to manage conditions like high blood pressure, cholesterol levels, maybe controlling your menopause, or other metabolic issues, they may worsen once the GLP-1 medications are discontinued. And then here is another reminder of what can potentially happen once you stop the injections. In 2022, a study was conducted on Ozempic and Wegovy, which is generic for semaglutide. Patients who stopped the highest dose of Wegovy at 2.4 milligrams regained 2/3 of their weight within 1 year of stopping the injections. Now, with Mounjaro and Zepbound, which is generic for tirzepatide, the patients did better but still gained some of their weight. Patients took the medications for 36 weeks, which is about 9 months, but then stopped. They lost on average about 21% of their body weight. However, they put back on 14% of their body weight over the following 16 weeks or 4 months. So, the moral of the story, make sure to set realistic goals. Do not just reach your goal weight and stop the injections immediately. Have a plan in place. If you fail to plan, then plan to fail. I end every episode with meal prep and get some workouts in. Why? Because I want you to be successful on your weight loss journey. You can take all the medications in the world, but if you do not get your diet under control more than anything else, you will not be successful long term on any weight loss journey. Now, do not get me wrong. I want you to work out as well. I realize that everyone cannot work out, or maybe they have legit reasons for not working out, but I always stress to my patients to try to get some type of exercise in, even if it's just walking. I do not discount walking. My only form of cardio is walking. I walk on the treadmill 5 to 6 days a week for 45 minutes. But if you like running, riding the bike, the Stairmaster, or whatever, by all means, go for it. But don't ever discount or feel as though you're not doing enough. Any form of exercise is better than nothing. Baby steps. So I want to share one last story. According to a Danish study, you do not have to stay on a GLP-1 drug, quote, forever to keep the weight loss off if accompanied with regular exercise. The study found that people who worked out and took the medications, but didn't stop the medications and continued to work out, were able to maintain their weight loss. Those who worked out while taking GLP-1 medications were 4.2 times more likely to maintain their initial weight loss than those who took the injections but did not work out while taking them. So, I hope you can see the importance of working out. It truly does matter, and so does your diet. Lastly, I will give you a few stats of what I have seen in my clinic from my patients on compounded semaglutide or compounded tirzepatide. I'll start with overall weight loss. Now, this is someone who works out, meal preps, and follows the plan like she should. She has lost 84.4 pounds over 18 months. She has lost 37.6% of her body weight. Now, keep in mind, she added in eating healthy and working out, and she was serious about reaching her goal weight. She wasn't one of those that was dying to get the weight off quickly. She's currently on a maintenance dose of tirzepatide at 10 milligrams once every 1 to 2 weeks. I will have her on an upcoming show soon as a guest speaker in the near future. Next, this is someone who has been on compounded semaglutide. She lost 86.2 pounds over a total of 13 months. She has lost 20% of her body weight. She is not at maintenance dose, but wants to continue on her weight loss journey. She is doing well and remaining on track. Also, she is not at the max dose of semaglutide and is happy with the rate and amount of her weight loss so far. Now, the reason the percentage of body weight loss varies greatly between the two just mentioned is because the amount the patients weighed at the start of the injections. Nevertheless, they both lost close to the same amount of weight, 84.4 pounds versus 86.2 pounds. So, that's why I don't really talk numbers as far as how much weight you can expect to lose. Their amounts in pounds were super close, but as far as their percentages of body weight, they were very far apart. 37.6% body weight loss versus 20% body weight loss. Now, on to the next person in my clinic. This is another person on compounded semaglutide. He has lost 62.8 pounds over a total of 6 months. He worked out and changed his eating habits. He is continuing on his weight loss journey. And then another She has lost 60.8 pounds over a total of 6 months as well on compounded semaglutide. She changed her eating habits. However, she did not work out because she was not able to. And then lastly, another patient on compounded semaglutide who has lost 60.6 pounds over 13 months and is continuing on her weight loss journey. Now, this particular person has stayed at a lower dose of semaglutide by choice and continues on the same dose. She is very pleased with the rate and amount of her weight loss. So, I just wanted to give you some real life stats of what healthy weight loss looks like over a realistic time frame. Now, I will just go over some weight loss within the first week that I have seen in my clinic for those wondering how much weight you might lose starting out. On average, I see about 5 pounds the first week, but this levels out over time. However, I have seen as much as 14 pounds the first week. That was only one person, and no, that is not a realistic expectation. So don't get your hopes up. On the other hand, I have seen a few people only lose 1 pound or even just ounces. But generally, when a patient continues on for the long haul, meaning more than just weeks, but months, like at least to the max dose of semaglutide, they will generally do well. And on the flip side of that, the patients that give up too soon and that do not see the weight loss they want to see are always the patients that never reach the max dose. They just give up too soon. Now, with tirzepatide, a patient can generally max out at 10 milligrams and do well in the clinic, but if needed, there are 2 additional doses. However, it's similar to the case with semaglutide. Patients who do not consistently take at least 10 milligrams of tirzepatide weekly often struggle to reach their goal weight and may give up. On the other hand, I have several patients who are regularly taking at least 10 milligrams of tirzepatide every week as prescribed, and they are either at goal weight or making significant progress towards it. So, again, set realistic expectations. You cannot claim the medication did not work if you have not even reached the maximum dose and taken the injections the way they were meant to be taken. Too many people want to take them every other week or just whenever, but it does not work that way. While staying on the lowest dose for an extended period is ideal if that works out for you, there is a reason the medication has a maximum dosage. It was designed to be used if needed. So make sure to get your injections weekly and follow your healthcare provider's recommendations if you want to be successful. I hope you understood the importance of setting realistic expectations when using GLP-1 medications. They are effective, and while some people may choose to stay on them indefinitely, others might decide to discontinue once they reach their goal weight. Just be sure to have a solid plan in place to maintain your weight loss and ensure that your approach is realistic from the very beginning. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. As always, I have enjoyed sharing my knowledge. Make sure to meal prep, get some workouts in, and I hope you have a fabulous week. For more weight loss tips, follow me on Facebook or Instagram at Dr. Andrea's Medical and Weight Loss Clinic or Telehealth DNP. I'm Dr. Andrea Walker, family nurse practitioner. Until next week, take care.